This is part one of a two-part episode on using AI in education. Hi there, I'm Brissa Cabe, the Digital Learning Specialist here at LCMS. Welcome to our App Chat for Educators podcast, where we'll explore different apps, instructional strategies, and other digital resources for education. Thanks for tuning in. This week, I'm here with Jessica Jones, one of our vanguards and awesome teachers here at LCMS. Jessica, tell us a little bit about yourself and your role here on campus.
So I'm Jessica Jones. This is my 9th year here at LCMS, and I teach Principles of Information Technology. And like you said, I'm a vanguard. I've been a vanguard ever since it started.
So I know that being one of our technology teachers, you're always searching for innovative ways to support your instruction with different digital resources. Now, it's no secret that there is one revolutionary tool in particular that has already impacted education: artificial intelligence, or AI. There are quite a few different AI tools out there nowadays, but for most of us, it all started with ChatGPT. What is your understanding of what ChatGPT is?
So when I first heard about ChatGPT, I really heard about it, I think it was on the news, like Good Morning America or something like that. And I was intrigued by it, but I held off on trying it out for a little while. And so it wasn't until you had told me that, I don't remember what it was, but we were talking about something and you had tried it. And so that evening I went home and tried it. And I think one of the first things I tried was, I think I told it to write me a country song about the Texas Tech Red Raiders. And I was shocked at how first of all, how well it sounded like a country western song. And it brought in information about the Red Raiders. However, it's not perfect because it didn't have the right coach in there. It still had the former coach in there.
Gotcha.
I just started using ChatGPT to help me with some lessons that I was having, especially like if I was struggling with coming up with the questions. I would tell it what grade I needed and what the content was, and it would just start pulling out a lot of questions for me. And I could either do it open-ended or I could do multiple choice. Again, it's not perfect, but it helps guide me in the right direction, and it helps me to brainstorm maybe some new ideas that I hadn't thought of before.
So from what I'm hearing you say, you're using it to kind of help your teacher productivity, to save a little bit of time, and to create things that you can jump from. Not necessarily doing the work for you,
Right.
but...
Right, yes, because some of the things have not always been correct. So ChatGPT was like one of the first things I started using, and then you introduced me to Magic School, and I have really used Magic School a whole lot more than ChatGPT. I feel like it's really geared more towards the teacher side of things and ChatGPT can just be geared towards anybody. It could be more business-like, that or that kind of thing. But one of the things that I have found is with Magic School, I've been able to develop some emails to parents, and they've sounded more positive. Like they've been able to take any sound of frustration or anything I might be having with a particular student or something like that, and it's just put a positive spin on it. And so I get more positive feedback from parents, and if they're emailing, that kind of thing. So it's really helped me in positive communication, no matter how bad the situation. But like I said, it's not perfect. It's just helped guide me and I still tweak things with the emails to make it sound more like me, but it has really helped guide me in some of the different ways that I handle a classroom.
Going back to ChatGPT and just what it is and what it means for educators, I think since it's been out for about a year now, most teachers do have a basic understanding of what it is. I know when it was initially introduced to us, there was a lot of hesitation from educators because many of us were unsure how it would impact learning, how it would impact instruction, and how it would just impact students in general. What are your thoughts on that? How do you think this tool can or will impact students now that we know a little bit more about not just ChatGPT, but AI in general?
So I think first and foremost, students are just going to have to be taught what AI is and how to properly use it, because in the wrong hands, like, or, other ways, then yeah, it can be used for bad. Like Elon Musk said, AI will have the potential to become the most disruptive force in history. And I tend to agree with that, because if you don't teach the proper ways, basically digital citizenship of using AI, then yes, people can turn it into something bad instead of something good. Just last week, I had a student email me to tell me that he had finished his updating his website, and he was ready for me to grade the updated version. And I read it, and it did not sound like him. And I just kind of looked at him, and I was like, I didn't know you had it in you. And he just kind of looked at me, and he was feeling very hesitant on how to respond. And so we just kind of kept talking, and he was like, well, I wrote the first part. He said, but and he pointed to a neighbor. He said, he helped me with the rest of it. And that neighbor told me, he goes, we used ChatGPT to finish writing it. Because we had talked about the proper ways of sending an email to a teacher, that kind of thing, or to anybody, to keep it professional and to have it sound positive and not demanding or anything like that. And so this was a really great email from the kid. And so I looked at him and I said, and I just, let him know, well, he's not the only one who uses that. Like, I use it too. And so he kind of felt better about that. But I think just showing them how it can help them with trying to guide them in the right direction, to better themselves, because I know that it's helped me better some of my ideas, and so then I remember those ideas for in the future. Or it helps me remember some, if I don't exactly use that thing, the one good thing is that it kind of keeps a running record of everything that you've asked for help on or something like that. So then I can go back in and look at those things and see, okay, yeah, this was an idea that I didn't use, but now I could use. So I think, AI is a great tool, as and it's there to help us. And if we use it in the right way, then it can be a fantastic thing, and it can definitely speed up productivity. Because I know for me, I feel like it helps keep me on track, and it just, when I'm in those clouds and I need help just coming up with what it is I need to come up with, like I'm struggling right now to find some words, AI really has helped me do that and help me be a little more successful in some of the teachings that I do in class.
And to go off of that, I think it's important for us, especially as people in education, to remember that back when Google search first became a thing, there was a whole bunch of hesitation about that, because who would need libraries anymore? Who would need to actually do their own research? It would do all of that for them. But now that we've become used to it and we know how to use it, it is, like you said, it's a tool. It saves time, it supplements what we're doing, it doesn't replace what we're doing.
Right.
And I think, and I agree with you, we just have to have that outlook of teaching our kids how to use it for good, how to use it to supplement what they're doing and to make the world better and to save time, not replace what they're doing.
Correct.
So on that note, I think more and more educators are becoming more and more willing to explore AI. And as we mentioned, there are so many more tools out there than just ChatGPT. Can you talk a little bit more about some of the functions and ways that you use tools like Magic School AI that are meant specifically for educators?
Yeah, so Magic School, like I said, has become one of my new favorite tools. It helps with planning, with content, coming up with questions. There's even something called intellectual prep, so you can come up with exemplar and non-exemplar responses, multiple explanations for complex concepts. Like I said, I've used it for email. It's got a lot of awesome tools. Another AI tool that I've used has been CurryPod, and basically it's similar in a way to Nearpod in that it's slideshows, but you can incorporate a word cloud where I can ask a question and then kids start putting words up and it generates it off the bat. And it's easy to see. We can take polls, we can do a lot of other things, but the cool thing is I can take a TEK and I can put it into CurryPod, and it creates questions, possible questions on slides that you might want to use, open-ended questions, that kind of thing. So I've used that, and that's been kind of fun. Again, not perfect, but it's relatively new, so their changes are coming almost on a weekly basis, if not monthly basis. It's free for like the first 5 presentations. Another one I've used is in Canva. I've used the AI creator in Canva, and I actually was using it for a more personal reason. I was trying to come up with a task list for my son, and I couldn't find the exact pictures that I wanted to use on his little task list board. And so I would just type in what I was looking for, and it would, pop out some possibilities. I even did that last year with trying to come up with a picture for Google Form for some questions that we were doing, and I wanted a specific kid with mac and cheese, and like, it was very specific, and it took several tries before I found the one that I really, really liked, but it finally popped it out to me. It really helps. It helps you to find what you're looking for, especially when you're trying to make sure you're not infringing on copyright issues or anything like that. So ChatGPT, Magic School, the CuriePod, and the AI in Canva, I think are the 4 major ones that I've used so far. It's just a really cool tool to use.
It really is. There are just so many possibilities for differentiating content for your kids, making emails and documents sound a little bit more professional, and just fine-tuning things that you need to supplement your instruction. I really appreciate your thoughts on this today. AI is such a seemingly new tool, but it's not going away anytime soon. It is our future. It's our students' future, and so I really appreciate your attitude about just diving in and giving it a try.
Oh, yeah.
Since August, I've heard from a few other teachers from multiple content areas on our campus about how they've made use of AI tools. Check out part 2 of Adding AI to Your Teacher Toolkit to hear their thoughts and for more ideas on using AI in your classroom.